everybody, it's Romania Black. We are on episode 9 of volume 8 of RWBY, and it's freezing outside. It's cold. I've got like 2 sweaters on, but I'm ready for some RWBY to heat me up. So last episode, some spooky, scary stuff in the Schnee Manor. I got such Jurassic Park vibes, and I'm probably going to do like a little meme of that to put on Twitter and Tumblr, because I was living through that volume. It was just giving me such creepy, spooky haunted house vibes. But yeah, so Robin and Crow possibly are escaping. I'm curious if the bird we saw was... People are speculating if it's Raven or not. I think Crow just turned into a bird to escape from getting smushed. And I'm wondering if Robin, seeing him as an actual bird now, is going to bring up some conversations. There's that. There is, most importantly, the Hound. I mean, we had a lot of development with the Schnee family dynamics, getting old Papa Klein. I love me some Klein. And he was doing the Lord's work, helping to heal Nora. And Penny, oh my gosh, Penny just having this breakdown and being controlled by Watts to go to the vault. But mainly, Cinder ran off with Watts, so there's that. But mainly, yeah, the Hound. Some revelations about the Hound. And the fact that that was a Silver Eye. So Salem's had her hands on some silver-eyed warriors, which is terrifying. So I'm like, we need the protection squad out. Watch over RWBY, watch over Maria, even though she doesn't have her eyes. Watch over everybody. But yeah, so that leads me to think, like, they've dealt with their kind before. Are we really going to do a Summer is a Grimm thing? I don't know. I kind of don't want them to. I want Summer to just either be dead. I just want Summer to be gone. I mean, as horrible as that is for RWBY not to have her mom around, at this point in the series, I'm like, I just want Summer to be not in the picture. Or if she is in the picture, I don't want her to be a Grimm. I don't know. I just feel like she's important to the story like she is. I want, if they do have her still around, I don't want it to be cheesy or ingenuine. That's my thing. If you're going to keep her alive, fine. Like, no body, no proof, right? But if you're going to keep her alive, I don't want it to be in a cheesy or disserviceable way to the story if they keep her around. And I don't know if making her a Grimm is... That seems... I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, so yeah, we're dealing with all this business. Whitley stepping up Whitley and being a team player and suggesting they take the cargo ships to the crater to get the people back up to Atlas and away from there. I really love that idea. It looked like he got the signal out. So everything looks like it's being set in motion. The whole Penny thing freaks me out. The fact that Cinder ran off with Watts because she's probably going to use him to get Penny. They don't know the Hound's dead. They're just trying to like beat the Hound to her. And then just everything. So, I don't know how I feel. But they said this second half of the volume is going to get dark. The last episode was called Dark, and it was pretty much that. So, I don't know, y'all. I'm excited to see what we do with this. I hope y'all are too. But let's start episode 9 of RWBY here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. This episode was great. What a cliffhanger. Why would you do that, RWBY? Why would you do that? Damn it. Because we gotta go to episode... We still have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... We still have 5 episodes left of this volume. I mean, okay, let's be real. Salem, if Oscar manages to disintegrate Salem in this moment, because it looked like he was going to, like, beam cannon her. Like, we're going to go Dragon Ball Z, beam cannon her through the chest. If he manages to disintegrate her and Hazel sacrifices himself, it's only going to buy him a little bit of time. What'd he say? Hazel said like a couple hours maximum. So are they just betting that a couple of hours that the Grimm will kind of either falter, or that'll give them a couple hours to get everybody out of the crater and maybe get Amity back on track. I don't know. To buy, oh God, Maria and Pietro some time. I don't know. I get Oscar's reasoning that if we just leave, she's going to follow us. I get it. But I'm also like, him using his magic, I'm like, is that really going to stall her for that long? And I mean, Hazel's done for, which she probably was going to kill Hazel anyway. But, and, yeah. So, Oscar Protection Squad, y'all, and Emerald. I never thought I'd say Emerald Protection Squad, but girl, I like how Jin at this point, Jin is just so used to people summoning her without an actual use. She's like, oh, you just wanted to say hey? Thanks. Cool, bye. And so she's like, nobody has a wish for me? Okay. I really thought they were going to use a wish, but I guess they didn't want to waste it, which makes sense. But here's the thing. How can Neo use the lamp? The smoke hadn't totally disappeared yet. So, can Neo ask a question since she can't talk? Or can she talk? Or can she tap? Or can she sign? How does that mechanic work? Or is she just stealing the lamp to just screw everything up? She's like, forget you all. I'm out of here and I'm taking the relic with me because I know that this is messed up. Neo. Interesting. Interesting indeed, right? That furthers my Neo is going to become a maiden scenario that much more, because I'm like, I can see it. I don't know, man, but So I'm glad that Emerald decided to help them finally to do something, knowing that Oscar's telling the truth and that Hazel was basically like her father figure sacrificing himself for her. I'm glad that came full circle. The idea that the more magic Oscar uses, the more they start to merge is interesting. So he used the magic when he fell from Atlas. He used the magic to make the orb around himself to save himself, and that's when him and Ozpin started talking more. So using this magic, he knows that it's merging them, but he chooses to go along with it to help everybody. So it's like, I don't know. Everybody's really against the Oscar Ozpin merge, and I get why, because it is kind of like a symbiotic thing. But on the other side of it, I think that Ozpin brings up a good point, saying you're doing pretty well on your own right now. So I've always taken, and I feel like I'm in the minority, I've always taken the symbiosis thing as the dominant personality takes over and is the dominant personality, but all the other personalities are kind of in the background. I always thought of it as like a Piccolo and Nail thing. Like Piccolo absorbs Kami in Dragon Ball Z and he absorbs Nail. But Nail and Kami are just kind of like in the back of his mind. They're part of him and they give him power, but they don't control his personality. They just become part of him. And he's the one in control, and he's the dominant host, because he's the host body. He's the dominant personality. So I always thought with Oscar that it was like that Oscar would remain the dominant personality, but he would take on traits and take on power from Ozpin and those previous incarnations. Because it seems like every reincarnation of Ozpin, every host has had a different personality and a different perspective and a different impact while he's been Ozpin or Ozma. So I guess I view it in a more Oscar-friendly lens, and maybe that's just me as an Oscar fan wanting to justify it and be like, Oscar will be fine. Even if he merges, it'll be okay. Maybe that's just me trying to justify it. But that's how I always took it, was kind of like just when Piccolo absorbed Nail and Kami, that Nail and Kami didn't take over Piccolo, they just became part of him. And they were always there, which you can take that as being just as bad, but I don't know. Rin, I love that Rin's like, so I've developed this new power, and Yang and Jean are like, oh, cool, good timing. But I honestly wanted to see Rin look at Salem and see what emotions she was carrying, and I want it to be nothing. I really want him to look at her, and there's no petals. There's nothing there. It's just she's a hollow shell of a person at this point, and there's no emotions other than like hatred, or they're just black petals and it's just like swirling around her. That's what I wanted. I'm hoping that at some point in this volume we get that, because we still have 5 episodes. There's still a lot of content to cover. And they're getting out of the whale, so I'm wondering, are they going to blow up the whale with Oscar inside? I'm like, I don't want Oscar to be gone and for them to have a new body. I'm like, I love Oscar. So I'm curious what they're going to end up doing, how that's going to work. I don't know. I don't want Oscar to die in the whale. I don't want Oscar to be reincarnated again. But at this point, I don't know. And man, Hazel lighting himself on fire to burn the witch, to burn Salem, that was some iconic imagery. I love that Hazel's like, I'll do, because he's been saying like, he's like, no more Gretchens. He's like, don't make the same mistakes again. I'm going to let you off, but no more. Like, if you end up doing anything in the future like Ozpin, no more. No more kids dying. And it's like, So, there's all that. There's the conflict with Marrow and Winter. And Winter's still stuck on this whole duty thing. But Marrow is like, I feel like Marrow and Emerald are in same camps. Emerald's like, peace out, Girl Scouts. Like, this was the time where she was like, getting out. And I feel like Marrow's close behind with the Aesops. But, oh, man. So we got the bomb going into the whale. We've got our crew, like, barely escaping, it looks like, and getting out of there before everything blows. Oscar's, like, going to try to get Salem to at least vamoosh for a couple hours to buy them some time. Neo's totally taking the lamp, which I love. I didn't see it coming, but I love that Neo's like, screw this place. Bye. And I really hope Neo just goes MIA with the lamp, because Salem hilariously and horrifically running away is terrifying. And I'm like, oh my God. But like, that was her being like, the lamp's gone. And I just want Neo to go MIA and just, Neo gathers up most of the relics and then she's just like, whatever. I'm still curious though. I'm curious how that would go down. My mind is constantly like, Neo, what would you do? How would you summon Jin? Or did you get to Jin? How would you ask a question? Or, can Jin read minds if that's the case? I don't know. I'm curious about all that. I really, at this point, if Salem got the lamp back and Neo used the wish, I would laugh my butt off. That would be the most hilarious thing if Salem was like, I've got the lamp back, and Neo's like, sup, use the wish, peace out. That would be amazing. But I don't know. Yang. God, Yang. I have liked Yang's character up until the last couple volumes. Last couple volumes, I feel like Yang hasn't had much to do other than being for exposition and for interactions, which I feel like in this volume, Blake has been Ruby's support and Ruby is vice versa Blake's support. But I feel like Yang has been, and maybe it's like Rin says, Yang doesn't know how to convey her fear, and she's trying to mask it with this persona of everything's fine, don't worry about me. But when she was talking about Salem and being like, why do you keep killing people? I'm like, Yang, I like you, but Salem's like had a lot of shit happen, so maybe now's not the time. And then when she mentioned Summer Rose and Salem's like, her again, y'all won't shut up about her. Do I have to tell you what I did to her? It's like, yes, we need closure, please. But I don't know. I'm not saying I hate Blake or I hate Yang. I'm not saying I hate Yang, but I felt like in this episode I was like, girl, don't force it. Like, don't force the one-liners. You can force the one-liners on Rin and give him a talking, but I don't think you're in a good place to give Salem a talking. But, ugh. So that was a shot of Salem grabbing Oscar by the head. There's that. And I liked Oscar reciting the nursery rhyme. Oscar reciting the nursery rhyme of, let me go back to that and have the subtitles on. The part where he's telling, he's talking about the rhyme. Because there's that scene right towards the beginning where he says, she brushed off her bumps and bruises, for nothing hurt worse than the loneliness in her chest. And Osmond's like, oh, I know that story, the girl who fell through the world. And it's kind of describing Oscar's scenario. If he's been battered and bruised, and he's, maybe lonely, and that can kind of relate to him and Ozpin merging their personalities, because Ozpin's lonely, I'm sure, and into a new world that was exciting. I never understood why she was so sad when she finally made it back home, but now it makes more sense. She wasn't the same. Yeah, she'd experienced everything. It's kind of like the kind of like in The Hobbit, and in the Fellowship of the Ring, when the hobbits all go off to help save Middle Earth, when they come back, you'd think that them coming back home would be a good thing, but in the story, they've been through all this death and destruction that it's changed them. And it's a good metaphor that Tolkien uses to describe people coming back from war and traumatic events, is that they're changed, and that even though they're back home in this seemingly safe space, it's not the same as it was when they left. And so Oscar's resonating this idea that he can't go back to what it was like before he left home. And even if he went home, he'd be a different person. And then Ozpin's thinking, I think this plan to divide has run its course. Like, we've done enough internal damage. We need to start thinking about how to get out. And he's like, not having arcane limits our options. And then Oscar, I don't like what happens when we use magic. He's like, every time we use it, I feel us merging faster. And I'm not ready for it. And he's like, I don't blame you. Honestly, I think you're doing just fine on your own. And it's that just inevitable time clock of it's all eventually going to happen. And them using so much magic here at the end, I'm like, Oscar, it's accelerating the process, but you're also like, I care about my friends. So, ooh, buddy. And then just Hazel, man, Hazel taking one for the team. That's rough. And just doing all the dust. But it's like Salem. And they were pretty grisly here. Like, Salem just getting the snot beat out of her, and she just comes right back. She's like, nope, been there, done that. I've done all these things to myself. You can't hurt me. Oh. So there's that. But this episode, y'all, this cliffhanger, what do we do with this? It definitely has me excited for the next episode, has me worried for Oscar. I'm so worried for Hazel. I'm worried about this bomb. I want to know, did Neo take the lamp? I'm assuming she did. What do we do with that? And then, are we going to go back to Ruby and them? Are we going to stick with these guys? I hope we stick with these guys, at least for the first part of the episode. But, so good. So good. So, I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts down below, what you all thought of the episode. But, I've enjoyed this volume a lot, and I have a feeling we've still got 5 episodes left. There's no telling what's going to happen, guys, and I'm all for it. So, in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe and take care. And I'll talk to you all again soon with more RWBY. Bye.